There's a kind of night that stretches thin. You drift off, the house is soft and still, and then a quiet nudge pulls you awake. You shuffle to the bathroom, settle back into bed, and try to stitch your sleep together again. An hour later, it happens once more. It isn't dramatic, but it takes something vital. The deep, restoring rest that steadies your mood, sharpens your mind, and gives your body a chance to repair. Waking to pee can begin as a small annoyance and turn into a pattern that quietly wears you down. If this is your reality, I want you to know two things. You're not alone, and there are gentle, practical steps that can change your nights. Let tonight be the first small turn toward better sleep. I'm Dr. Emily Hart, and for more than 15 years I've helped women in their 60s, 70s, and beyond navigate change with clarity and compassion. This space is warm, judgment-free, and built for you. If you're new here, I'd love for you to subscribe so you don't miss future videos. Tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I love seeing this circle of strong women all over the world. If nighttime bathroom trips have been interrupting your rest, take a breath. I'm going to share 4 doctor-approved tips you can start today. Let's start with what's really happening. Nocturia. Waking at night to urinate isn't just aging. Your bladder is like a friendly balloon, and your kidneys are a pair of tiny faucets. A nighttime hormone acts like a dimmer switch, asking those faucets to slow down while you sleep. With age, that dimmer can get sticky. Estrogen changes can make the bladder lining more sensitive. What and when you drink, how your legs hold fluid during the day, and how your pelvic floor responds to urges all influence those nighttime wake-ups. The plan I'll share meets your body in each of these places. The first step is to reset your hydration rhythm so your bladder can rest at night. I worked with Lena, 66, who ended her evenings with 2 mugs of herbal tea and a tall glass of water because she wanted to be good about hydration. She was right about the goal. Hydration is essential, but the timing pulled her out of bed 3 times a night. We didn't ask her to drink less overall. We simply moved most of her fluids earlier in the day. Think of your body like a morning garden. Water it when the sun is up, not at sunset. Keep a bottle handy after breakfast and lunch and sip regularly. As the afternoon fades, taper gently. In the evening, choose small sips instead of full glasses. Notice stealthy bladder stimulators late in the day. Caffeine, even some decafs, can nudge your kidneys. Carbonation can irritate the bladder lining, and alcohol acts like a diuretic while also fragmenting sleep. If you love a warm evening ritual, choose a smaller cup earlier in the evening and sip lightly. With these shifts, more fluids by mid-afternoon and less after dinner. Lena went from 3 trips a night to 1 within a week. The real win was the morning that followed. Brighter energy, steadier mood, and confidence that bedtime wouldn't turn into a relay race. The second step is to calm and retrain a sensitive bladder. Carol, 68, told me, "I go every chance I get so I won't have to later." She meant well, but her bladder learned to speak up at the slightest stretch. The bladder is smart, it pays attention. If we empty at the first whisper, it starts whispering all day and all night. We taught Carol's bladder patience again. During the day, she spaced bathroom trips a little further apart. Nothing extreme, just steady and kind. At the first flicker of urgency, she paused instead of rushing. She relaxed her shoulders, took a slow belly breath, and performed a gentle pelvic floor lift, an inward, subtle zip under the pelvis held for a few seconds and then fully released. That small lift sends a message up the nerve pathway that says, "We're in control." 2 or 3 cycles of breathe and lift took the edge off the wave, giving her time to walk calmly to the bathroom or even wait until the next planned break. To support that new rhythm, Carol added short, focused pelvic floor practice. I like the image of gently closing around a blueberry and lifting it without squashing it. 5 to 10 seconds of comfortable effort followed by a soft, complete release. This builds coordination and support around the urethra. If you're not sure you're doing it correctly, a pelvic floor physical therapist can be life-changing. They use simple, non-invasive techniques and crystal-clear guidance. At bedtime, Carol added a double void. One bathroom visit about 30 minutes before lights out, then another right before sleep. That small habit meant less leftover urine and fewer wake-ups. Within a month, she had fewer urges, more confidence, and several blissful nights where morning arrived in one uninterrupted line. The third step addresses a sneaky cause many people miss: afternoon ankle swelling that turns into nighttime urine. Vera, 72, noticed puffy ankles by dinner. When she lay down, that trapped fluid returned to her circulation, and her kidneys responded by making urine while she slept. The cycle was predictable and exhausting. We worked with her body's own logic. Late in the afternoon, Vera rested with her legs elevated, calves supported, heels free, so gravity could help move fluid out earlier. While resting, she did slow ankle pumps and gentle circles to encourage circulation. After dinner, she took a relaxed 15-minute walk. That short stroll worked wonders, helping her body redistribute fluid before bedtime. On her doctor's advice, she began wearing properly fitted compression socks during the day, putting them on in the morning before swelling started and taking them off in the evening. We also looked at evening meals. Soups, processed foods, and salty snacks were pulling water into her bloodstream hours later. By choosing a lighter, lower salt supper and adding potassium-rich foods earlier in the day, she noticed less nighttime output and longer stretches of sleep. Her words made me smile. I can trust my nights again. The fourth step is to build a bedtime routine that quiets your nervous system and trims evening bladder irritants. May, 70, loved watching TV in bed, but the bright screen kept her brain alert, her shoulders tight, and her bladder jumpy. She also dealt with constipation, which pressed on her bladder and made urges more urgent. We designed an evening ritual that told her body, "You're safe." An hour before bed, screens went dark and lights dimmed. The bedroom was a little cooler and the path to the bathroom clear, with a small night light for safety. These simple cues made a real difference in how often she startled awake. We then adjusted a few foods: tomato-based sauces, citrus, chocolate, artificial sweeteners, very spicy dishes, and peppermint can irritate some bladders, especially at night. Not everyone is sensitive, but if your bladder is chatty, try saving those foods for earlier in the day and see what changes. If you take a water pill, ask your clinician about shifting it earlier so its peak effect happens well before bed. If you snore or wake unrefreshed, ask about sleep apnea. When treated, nighttime urine often eases. And don't overlook regular, gentle bowel habits, fiber, fluids earlier in the day, and movement, because a calm belly makes a calmer bladder. To settle urges when they arise, May practiced a simple breathing pattern on her side. A slow inhale through the nose, a soft pause, then a longer, unforced exhale through the mouth as if you're fogging a window. That longer exhale quiets the nervous system and naturally tones the pelvic floor without clenching. Paired with a tiny internal lift, the same subtle zip you learned earlier, she could ride out a wave without snapping fully awake. Combined with the two-step bathroom routine before lights out, her bathroom dance faded. She still had an occasional wake-up, but most nights carried her gently to morning. If this is resonating, a small show of support like a quick like on the video lets me know these topics matter to you. As you try these steps, consider keeping a simple bladder diary for 3 to 7 days. Note when and what you drink, your bathroom times, and wake-ups. Patterns pop fast. You might discover a certain tea is a trigger. A late dinner pushes you out of bed, or a 15-minute leg elevation in the late afternoon earns you 2 extra hours of sleep. Knowledge is power, especially when it's about your own body. There are also times to call your clinician, and I want to be clear about them. If you have burning with urination, fever, pelvic pain, blood in your urine, sudden worsening, intense thirst with frequent urination, or new leg swelling, please seek care. Infections, kidney issues, diabetes, pelvic organ prolapse, or certain medications can play a role, and addressing them can unlock better nights. Some women benefit from bladder calming medications or low-dose vaginal estrogen to support the urethra and bladder lining. These are thoughtful, individualized decisions to discuss with a provider who listens. What I love about these 4 steps: front-loading hydration, retraining the bladder and pelvic floor, easing evening fluid shifts, and building a soothing bedtime routine, is how humane they are. They don't demand perfection. They ask for small, steady adjustments that work with your biology. I've watched women move from 3 or 4 wake-ups to 1, and from 1 to none, simply by restoring the body's natural rhythm. The win isn't only a quiet night. It's what greets you at sunrise. Steadier energy, fewer stumbles, a clearer head, and freedom to plan your day without bathroom worries. Choose one place to begin tonight. Maybe you pour most of your water before lunch and let evening be lighter. Maybe you practice that tiny pelvic floor lift while brushing your teeth. Maybe you prop your legs on pillows before dinner and take a short, easy stroll afterward. Maybe you turn off the TV, breathe out slowly, and let the dark be your friend again. None of this is about being good. It's about giving your body the cues it needs to do what it's designed to do: rest, repair, and carry you into tomorrow with quiet strength. You are not too old. You are not broken. And you are absolutely not alone. There's a calm, steady night waiting for you, and it doesn't require a fight, only partnership with your own body. If you found this helpful, subscribe to stay part of this growing circle of strong, informed women. Share in the comments what you'll try first. Your experience might be the note of hope another woman needs. And if someone you love is tiptoeing to the bathroom all night, send this their way. Take care of yourself. You're worth it. I'm Dr. Emily Hart, and I'll see you in the next one.